Sergio Perez is officially headed to Red Bull Racing and will become teammates with Max Verstappen in 2021. And Chase Elliott has confirmed his official ride that he will have for the 2021 Rolex 24 at Daytona. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. We got quite a bit of motorsports news to be discussed here today on the channel. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. The first story we're going to talk about is going to start off on a sour note, as unfortunately, once again, Sherry Pollock's ovarian cancer has once again returned. My prayers and condolences go out to Martin Truex Jr. and Sherry, as well as she is currently fighting cancer once again. My prayers go out to Sherry Pollock's, and Sherry, please be strong and hope you get through this, because this is something I never want to have, and I hope that you get through your cancer. On to the next story of this episode. The SRX has announced another racetrack that they will be racing at in 2021. They're going to be headed to Stafford Speedway as one of the racetracks that they will use in 2021. Really cool to see Stafford Speedway getting used once again. It's been a racetrack known for a lot of short track racing in America, and I think we'll see some really strong racing for the SRX. We're getting really close to knowing pretty much all the details when it comes to drivers and the tracks for the SRX, and it's really cool that we are going to be headed to Stafford. I think this is really, really awesome to see, and I'm glad to hear we're headed to Stafford Speedway in 2021. On to the next story. We have a new Truck Series team that is actually joining the NASCAR Truck Series. The team is going to be called Rackley War. So basically, they're going to be a new Truck Series team in the NASCAR Indoors Truck Series that will be trying to compete full-time in 2021. It is a new truck team that is informed by former 2007 NASCAR Truck Series rookie Willie Allen and Chris Sutton, who owns Rackley Roofing, who will be sponsoring for a few races. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they'll be sponsored for a few races for Clay Greenfield and a few select races in 2021. I think it's really cool to see new truck teams join the NASCAR Truck Series again. I think Willie Allen hasn't raced, to my knowledge, in a couple of years. The last time I remember him racing in NASCAR altogether was back in 2010. I know he's been racing, in like local short tracks and stuff, especially in the Nashville area. I know he's been racing over there and stuff, but Willie Allen still continues to race as well, by the way. And Chris Sutton, Olin Rackley Roofing, they sponsor Clay Greenfield in the many races they, sponsored him for. So really cool to see that there is going to be a new Truck Series team that is joining the NASCAR Gan Outdoors Truck Series in 2021. It's awesome when we see new teams join the circuit, that'll be joining the circuit. It's going to be really cool to see a new Truck Series team joining the NASCAR Truck Series in 2021. On to the next story of this episode. We're going to talk about the ARCA East and the ARCA West schedules that were released earlier today. So let's start off with the ARCA East schedule first, because that was released first earlier today. We'll start off in New Smyrna on February 8th, followed by Pensacola on February 27th. Then we'll head to Nashville on May 8th, and then we'll head to Dover on May 15th. Then we'll head to Southern National Speedway on June 12th, and then we'll head to Iowa on July 24th, followed by Milwaukee on August 29th, and then the final race will be at Bristol on September 16th. So the ARCA East schedule is a very, very short year. They only have 8 races, which 3 of these will also be companion events with the regular ARCA series. The next one is the ARCA West. The ARCA West schedule will start off at Phoenix on March 12th, followed by Sonoma on June 5th, and then they'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll go to Irwindale on July 3rd, followed by Colorado National Speedway on July 31st. Then they'll have the Irwindale Speedway on August 21st once again. Then they'll have the Portland for 3 races from September 10th to 12th, followed by the Las Vegas Bull Ring on September 23rd. Then we'll have the Roseville Speedway on October 9th, and then the final race on the ARCA West schedule will be on Phoenix on November 6th. Now, let's talk a little bit about these schedules and if there's a possibility of any schedule changes that could come because of COVID-19. I'm not too concerned about the ARCA East schedule currently at the moment. None of the states that any of these races are in, to my knowledge, are in states that have been very, very cracking down on COVID-19, so I'm not too concerned, especially the first 2 races that are in Florida. They're not going to get changed. I don't think any of these are. Maybe Dover could be one that could maybe get affected, but if they do, they'll probably just run with no fans. That's probably going to be the case for the ARCA East schedule. As for the ARCA West schedule, I do have some concerns around that schedule in particular. Those being the races in California, the ones at Sonoma, Irwindale, and the other Irwindale race, and maybe also possibly Portland. I'm a little bit concerned about those races. Yes, even those races are not till June and July, I do think that there is a chance that those races could end up getting either pushed back to later in the year, or they could, in general, end up getting canceled, or they may end up getting moved to a later date. But if that isn't to be the case, we may have a really good ARCA West schedule. They may not get changed as well. As for one race I see under Portland, they're going to run a road course at Portland. Now, to my knowledge, NASCAR overall in any of their top series and even their local or lower series, they haven't raced at Portland, to my knowledge, since 2000. Now, they brought it back to IndyCar for the first time since 2007 and back 2018, but they didn't race in 2020 due to COVID-19. So I am a little bit concerned about Portland as well, though I do think it's very possible to at least get one or two of their races in. So those are the ARCA and East and West schedules. Really cool to see that they're going to run at a lot of those new tracks. It does suck that Evergreen is not going to be on the schedule for the ARCA West schedule, but those are the ARCA East and West schedules that we will see in 2021. And now we're getting on to the only IndyCar story that we have today is that Conor Daly is officially confirmed to be driving for Ed Carpenter Racing in 2021 at the road course races and the Indianapolis 500. He'll have U.S. Air Force recruiting as his major sponsor for the IndyCar series in 2021. We've been waiting for this announcement to come. The only reason he had not officially got signed weeks ago or months ago, as a matter of fact, is because of the fact that U.S. Air Force had not confirmed if they were going to be sponsoring Conor Daly or not. It was about a week ago that they basically were talking about, having this confirmed, and now it's officially confirmed that Conor Daly will be returning to Ed Carpenter Racing in 2021. Again, people are thinking, is he going to run full time? I wouldn't be too concerned about Conor Daly not running full-time. I think he will probably run full-time. I think he'll run the 2 or 3 oval races, at the 2 Texas races and Gateway. I think he'll run at those racetracks, with the 59 Carlin Racing team like he did last year. He was super competitive in those races with the Carlin cars. And I think that he can honestly be in contention, maybe win some races. IndyCar is somewhat competitive. I think he's a solid road course racer. I think he's also a really good oval racer overall as well. So I think Conor Daly will do quite a bit this year in IndyCar, and I cannot wait to see what he will do in 2021 at Ed Carpenter Racing. He's one of the last drivers to get officially confirmed, even though there's quite a few drivers that have not officially been confirmed at IndyCar currently at the moment. We'll have to see who else gets confirmed at the rest of the rides. I know there's speculation around that Felipe Nasser is going to go to a second Carlin Racing car. I've heard that brought up, and we'll have to find out what else happens. But we now have confirmation officially that Conor Daly will be headed to Ed Carpenter Racing in 2021 on the road courses and the Indianapolis 500. We'll see what happens for him in 2021. And now we're getting on to the first of the 2 major stories of this episode, and the only F1 story of this episode as well. Sergio Perez, after a couple days of waiting and after a few days of speculation, we have official confirmation that Sergio Perez is officially headed to Red Bull Racing in 2021 to be a teammate to Max Verstappen. I cannot tell you right now how excited I am about Sergio Perez going full-time with Red Bull Racing in 2021. I think he absolutely deserves to be going to Red Bull Racing in 2021. I mean, he ran so well with the Racing Point organization. Yes, I totally know and understand that the Racing Point cars are Mercedes-backed teams. I totally get that, and I totally understand that. But I think that Sergio Perez, going to Red Bull, a top-tier organization, I think he realistically has a really good opportunity of contending and winning an F1 championship this year. Now, that's, of course, Lewis Hamilton officially gets confirmed to be going to return to Mercedes. If he returns to Mercedes, then realistically, I don't know if he can win the championship, but I think realistically in 2021 in F1, I think Sergio Perez can honestly be a contender to win the championship. And when you have a guy like Mario Andretti supporting you and saying that this is a fantastic move, and you have not only a driver who's very, very talented going there, but also respected by fans and drivers as well, I think that this is a very awesome move. Realistically, I think top 4 in the points is probably where he's ended up going. If you told me 2019, I would probably have said that it would be Mercedes, then Ferrari, and Red Bull kind of mixed together as the second best team. But now it's basically Mercedes and Red Bull. As for Alex Albon is now returning to Red Bull in 2021. He will not be coming back to Formula 1 in 2021, but there is a very strong possibility, depending on how good Sergio does or not, there is a strong possibility that he could come back to Formula 1 in 2022. I do feel a little bit bad for Alex Albon because I do think he kind of got rushed up to going to Red Bull, but he didn't really do that much in Red Bull in his year and a half. I think, like I said, he did get kind of rushed up. But I also think that, he could have also formed a little bit better at Red Bull. That's just my opinion. But you have to remember that Max Verstappen is a championship caliber driver that is a generational talent as well. So it's going to be very hard to step up to the plate and perform as good as Max Verstappen has. I think it hasn't been since Daniel Ricciardo's been at the team where we've seen a championship contender. But I do think that Sergio Perez can really step it up to the plate. Let's just remember something, too. Sergio Perez was one of the drivers to beat Alex Albon on the points. Alex Albon was the second driver Rebel and really didn't do as much as I thought he could have. He finished 7th in the standings. He finished behind the points to Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz Jr., and Daniel Ricciardo. People that he should not be getting beat by, and he should be closer to Max Verstappen. But I do think he got rushed up to the Red Bull organization, especially since, after Pierre Gasly wasn't performing as good and he got moved back to AlphaTauri. They basically swapped up halfway through the year in 2019. They swapped out Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon and brought Albon in. I do hope one day that Albon gets another opportunity in Formula 1. I really hope he does, because I do think he has the potential to do really well. But I don't know what's going to happen to Alex Albon. He is a reserve driver for this team, just in case, especially if COVID is still around in the world. He could run one of those races and maybe come back. Maybe he'll surprise and impress us if he does come back. But I feel bad for Albon a little bit, but at the same time, I'm super happy for Sergio Perez. I think Perez is going to bring a lot to this team. I think he's the best driver to be a second driver to Max Verstappen. I think you have the best combination of drivers. Since you had Daniel Ricciardo and you had Max Verstappen working together, you're going to have two championship caliber drivers, and I think it's going to be a really strong season for the Formula 1 teams, and I cannot wait to see what these two drivers will do working together as teammates in 2021. I do think a few wins are going to come for Sergio Perez, and I think that this is all around a big win-win for the Formula 1 teams going forward. And now we're getting on to the final story of this episode. As it was confirmed earlier today, that Chase Elliott will be officially joining the regular Action Express Racing number 31 car. He will be joining Felipe Nasser, Pipo Derani, and Mike Conway as teammates for the 31 car for Action Express Racing at the Rolex 24 in 2021. So technically, him and Jimmy Johnson are going to technically be teammates in this race, so they're not going to be on the same team. Jimmy Johnson will be driving a 48 Ally car, which is a partnership between Action Express and Hendrick Motorsports. Chase Elliott will be driving the regular 31 car for Action Express Racing. Now, let me tell you something. Realistically, Chase Elliott has a very good opportunity and a very good possibility of maybe winning the Rolex 24 in 2021. And here's why I think he could honestly win the Rolex 24. Look at the three drivers that he's going to be working with. He's going to be working with Pipo Derani, who is really awesome driver. He's done really well. He's been also a really good championship contender for this team since joined his team after he worked with, I can't remember, was it the Nissans or the Mazdas? I can't remember exactly. Felipe Nasser, who's been really working very well. There's also a strong possibility he could be going to IndyCar as well and maybe be going against Jimmy Johnson possibly this upcoming season. But Felipe Nasser has been a really good sports car racer as well. And of course, Mike Conway, who's been in the sports cars for a very long time, who I think has been a championship contender as well in the sports cars. I think Chase Elliott, of course, will probably be the one driver that will need a little bit more training. I know he's a very strong road course racer, but he's also going to need to do some work as well to get ready and get very well for the sports cars. But Chase Elliott, man, going to have ultimately a shot. Both Jimmy Johnson and Chase Elliott realistically could win the Rolex 24 Daytona. Either one can. Look at the teams they have, especially since, the Cadillacs have a lot of good reliability, unlike the Mazdas, which they are not as reliable, though they've gotten better about the reliability issues. Same in Acura. I think Acura is somewhat reliable, but they're not as reliable as the Chevys are, the Cadillacs, excuse me. I think realistically, Chase Elliott can honestly win the Rolex 24. Again, he's just got to make sure he does really well. I know he's a really strong road course racer, but I think ultimately his goal, go out there and try to win, get some experience on road courses, and improve yourself in road courses, especially since, the next-gen car is going to be a little bit similar. Sports cars are going to be a little bit similar to, what the next-gen cars are looking like, because the road course performance especially is kind of similar to what the sports cars have, and I cannot wait to see what Chase Elliott will do for Action Express. I think realistically this is a big move, and this will bring a lot of fans as well from NASCAR over to watch. I think people like Chase Elliott and Jimmy Johnson coming from NASCAR and the big personalities give a lot of fans an opportunity to see how sports car racing works. And of course, a lot of people like myself are going to be rooting for Chase Elliott. And I might be staying up all night and get some energy drinks as well to watch the whole Rolex 24. But I think Chase Elliott is going to do very well. And I cannot wait to see what Chase Elliott is going to do in this upcoming Rolex 24 at Daytona. So, anyway, that is going to be it for today's motorsports video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, notifications, so you get me notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. How well do you think Sergio Perez is going to do at Red Bull in 2020? Do you think he'll perform better than Max, or do you think Max is still going to be the best driver at Red Bull in 2021? Let me know in comments below. And what are your thoughts about Chase Elliott racing in the Rolex 24 at Daytona with Action Express? Do you think he realistically can win the Rolex 24 or not? Let me know in the comments below. I have a big announcement to let you know. Tomorrow, I am going to be releasing my 2021 Formula One driver lineup. Now, while they have not confirmed everything for the Formula One driver lineup, is expected everyone will be confirmed. I'll have a little bit of thoughts on Nikita Mazepin, thinking if he should be replaced or not. I really think he should. We'll talk about Nikita Mazepin a little when we get to the Haas section. And even though Lewis Hamilton has not officially been confirmed to return to Mercedes, expected he will be returned to Mercedes. It may not be an announcement on Lewis Hamilton return to Mercedes till as early as March. I expect Lewis Hamilton to be coming back to Formula One in 2021. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like it. Like I said, we are very, very close to 500 subscribers on YouTube. And if you, like I said, if you enjoyed today's video, we're so close to that. If you're new, like this video so YouTube can recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. If you do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.